Hey there, partners. Mike here. Mike's DVDs and Blu-rays collection is back, fresh off my horse. And I got some in my saddlebags, guys. I got some movies I want to recommend to you guys. That's right. Check it out. Now, I'm not just a guy with a hat. I'm a guy that watches some great westerns, and I want to show those to you. Recommend some great westerns to you. So, right up. Now, this was a movie. Not really sure if you would completely going to call this a western per se. I think this takes place, well, yeah, it takes place, but it's not out on the western frontier. This is more taking place in a town. This is talking about, the train, railroads going through their towns, and, the railroad buying up everybody's land and buying up everything to get the railroad through there. But this is a movie that I've had my eyeball on for a while. This was actually the first color movie that Paramount put out back in 1936. Yeah, we're going back to 36. Now, it doesn't seem that old. Seems like a movie from the 40s or so. And it stars Fred McMurray. Now, this guy looks like he's never aged. I mean, he looks the same. I don't know. He just really barely changes. But anyways, this is a movie called The Trail of the Lonesome Pine. And I told you what it basically happens. The railroad is fighting this town. They're real backwoods people, The great, beautiful Sylvia Sidney is in this. Now, she had a great year in 1936. She also did the great Fritz Lang movie, Fury, with Spencer Tracy. But yeah, this has got Fred McMurray, Henry Fonda. Now, those two guys, they hadn't been out for very long, and stuff. And great movie. I mean, it really is. It's one of those little movies. You can kind of put this, if you're wanting to watch like some western type railroad movies, where they come in, they're fighting the railroad, or the railroad's fighting the Indians, or the railroad's fighting the townspeople, or all that. Put this movie in with those. This is kind of a nice little off the beaten track, so to speak. I mean, this is taking place during that time, but it's in a different setting. But yeah, The Trail of the Lonesome Pine, that was a famous song back then. But yeah, this was one of the first Technicolor movies, and this was the first one that Paramount put out. But yeah, it's great cast, directed by Henry Hathaway. I mean, what a director he was. He directed so many good movies. I have to do an episode on Henry Hathaway. I mean, he is a key director in the evolution of western movies in Hollywood. I mean, some of the movies he did influenced, the next decades and stuff. There's just tropes and stuff he set up, really good. One of the best directors of sound in westerns, for sure, But yeah, great cast. Let's see, who else is in this? It's one of those movies that's got a lot of good sub players, the supporting cast and stuff. You got people like Fuzzy Knight. You're like, hey, that's a cool name. But yeah, he's one of those, I think he plays like an old coot. You got Spanky McFarlane. That's right, little Spanky from the Our Gang movies. And now this is around the time he was doing those. He's little Spanky. There's a sad moment in this movie involving him, and I don't want to give away the thing, but that's sad. It's also got Beulah Bondi. I think one of the ones that you might think when I mention her name, The Grapes of Wrath with Henry Fonda. I think that would stick out to you first for her, but she was in a ton of different movies. We also got Nigel Bruce, Fred Stone, Henry Fonda, of course, Sylvia Sidney, and Fred McMurray. That's right. The Trail of the Lonesome Pine. Now, I got this really cheap. I think you can get this on Amazon for like $6.99, something like that. So, yeah, definitely worth checking into. Now, speaking of Henry Fonda and Technicolor, this next one. This takes place. It's on the frontier, but this takes place in like the 1700s. Kind of put that in there because a lot of these movies have a lot to do with like the next century in the 1800s with westerns and stuff. But this was directed by John Ford. Drums Along the Mohawk. Now I had this disc in my giant John Ford at Fox box set. The very first episode I ever did was on that box set. Now it's in there, but it doesn't have any artwork or nothing like that. Now this I ran across somewhere and I picked it up. This was out of a Ford at Fox little box set, a little mini box set from the big one, and it's got Claudette Colbert in it. Wow, I mean, she was a great actress, and definitely in the 30s, she did so many good movies. Directed by, I said John Ford, directed by John Ford. Really cool. I mean, this takes place in, during the colonies of North America. They're fighting off Indians and, building their little log cabins and stuff, and then the Indians come through and burn it down and everything, but really good. It's action-packed. It's beautifully filmed in Technicolor, and Henry Fonda is great in this. I mean, this was 1939, and another one of those great 1939 movies and stuff. And by then, he had really established himself as one of Hollywood's prime actors at that point. But yeah, Drums Along the Mohawk. Check that one out. Now here's another one. I pulled this off the shelf to check it out. I think I was watching like Errol Flynn movies or something like that. But yeah, this is 1940s Virginia City. And this is kind of a follow-up of sorts from Dodge City. The previous year, Errol Flynn had done Dodge City. And that's another great Technicolor movie. Now, this one is filmed in black and white. It's got Randolph Scott, one of my favorite Western actors, and Humphrey Bogart. Now, he plays a kind of a cheesy, dirty, despicable bad guy in this movie with his little pencil mustache and his, mugging at the camera, like, kind of, really kind of cool. It's got the beautiful Miriam Hopkins. Man, she was the bee's knees in the 1930s as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, Virginia City, really cool. Directed by Michael Curtiz. And this is funny because this is, a couple years before he does Casablanca, which would really put his name out there and stuff. But man, he was a studio man through and through. He worked for what is it, Warner Brothers? Yeah, Warner Brothers, and did some great movies and stuff. And this one's a lot of fun. I mean, Errol Flynn, you cannot dispute his charm and acting abilities. I mean, he's really good. A lot of fun movies in it. A lot of action. Really good. Next up, speaking of Miriam Hopkins, she's in this one too. And now this one is from 1952, and I got this as off the eBay seller that has all these really cool, like, I guess they're bootlegs. And I don't know where he gets these prints at, where he's sourcing his stuff from, because they all look really good and everything. And then he does his artwork and everything, and puts a little insert in there and stuff. HollywoodScrapHeap.com is his website. And anyways, this is a movie called The Outcasts of Poker Flats. I mean, what a great Western movie title. The Outcasts of Poker Flat. Yeah, really cool movie. This movie stars Dale Robertson. Now, other than this movie, I'm not really sure of any other movies he was in and stuff. But apparently, he was a big enough actor to carry this movie with Ann Baxter, co-starring with him, and Miriam Hopkins. But yeah, it's also got, the great Cameron Mitchell. Who else? Barbara Bates. a lot of cool stuff going on in this movie. Really kind of cool. Briefly, after the aftermath of a violent robbery, four miscreants are booted out of the town of Poker Flat. Ann Baxter, Miriam Hopkins, Billy Lynn, and Dale Robertson. A desolate, isolated cabin affords only the most basic refuge from an incoming winter storm. Almost deepening snow and plunging temperatures, a series of misfortunes unfold. And worst of all is the appearance of the sadistic, gun-toting Cameron Mitchell, keen to lay his hands on his money and his girl. But as the blizzard, conditions worsen, the last morsel of food disappears, along with any likely chance of escape. That's right. The Outcast of Poker Flat, great movie. They're in this cabin. There's like a big cabin fire, and there's just a lot of stuff's going on in this movie. And I'm just shocked. Like, this movie's not better known. I mean, it's from 1952. And it's got a great cast, and it's well made. I can't think of who the director is on this, but really cool. I mean, just on the name alone, it's worth picking up and seeing, how good this is. But yeah, Outcast of Poker Flat, it's definitely a movie to check out for sure. Out of all these, and finally, guys, this is another movie from the same guy, Hollywood Scrap Heap. And again, starring Dale Robertson. So this is a movie called A Day of Fury. And the cover says, the story of Jagade, last of the Maverick Killers. It's got Mara Cordaday in there. And I'll read this one too. While on a manhunt, the marshal is saved by a passing gunslinger named Jagade. It is a time when law is coming to the west, and when the gunslinger shows up in the marshal's town, the marshal is caught between the citizens' fears and the debt he owes to the gunslinger. As the situation is further complicated by the previous relationship between the marshal's fiance and Jagade. But really cool. This also stars Jock Mahoney, another good Western, solid name, Jock Mahoney. But yeah, good movie. Color, filmed in that new color technique. 1956. I'm trying to think of what company, who released this. I think it was either Paramount or RKO. I can't think of the studio that it's from. But anyways, good solid movie, and you're just asking yourself, A Day of Fury? What the hell is that? Well, this is deep, guys. This is when you're a Western fan when you start searching out movies and stuff. But see, a lot of these movies are based on finding, if it's got, like, say, Ann Baxter as the actress, and you got a pretty solid leading guy, you're going to have a pretty good movie. And this is pretty cool. I mean, it's kind of, showing the end of the outlaw days and, the beginning of society out west and everything and stuff. But yeah, really cool, actually. It's really interesting. And it's also got, it's starring Dale Robertson. Wish I could tell you more about him, but I'm not really sure about him. I don't have a lot to know about him. But there you go. There's a twofer from him and to check out. So hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Before I ramble on any longer, check out these videos, and don't be scared to kind of search out stuff, guys. I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there, and you just got to dig like you're digging for gold and stuff. And every once in a while you find some real movie gold out there. So Western gold. So anyways, guys, I got to saddle up my pony, and I'm going to ride out, find me some new movies, and I'll be back later and talk to you then, cowpokes. So later on.